Hello friends, I'm writer director C.S.Nag with Wake Up India, and in today's episode number 27 titled Drowning in Drainage, I will talk about how the annual monsoon continues to paralyze life of Mumbaikars in Mumbai every year. Mumbai's drainage system was built by the British in 1860, more than 160 years ago. The monsoon rain may have remained the same over the last 80 years, but the old drainage system, which allowed percolation of 25 millimeters of rainwater as per the requirements of the old Bombay city, which was a lot greener and had a lot of wide open spaces, is no longer sufficient to meet today's needs. With rapid urbanization, which has made Mumbai a concrete jungle, which easily turns into a quagmire, Mumbai's 2,900 kilometer long stormwater drainage system can only drain out 50 millimeters of rainwater per hour, which is double what it used to do long ago. But draining out 200 to 300 millimeters during monsoons, which is the present capacity required, is beyond its limits. The BMC has spent thousands of crores of rupees on 58 projects over the last 13 years, like building underground drains, widening the existing nalas, and building more pumping stations, which have now risen to 6 and yet proved to be inadequate. Mumbai has the highest population density, with more than 1 lakh people living per square kilometer. The metro area is itself 4,355 square kilometers with a population of 20 million, which is the most crowded in India and the ninth worst in the world. The construction of a new coastal road and the metro is making matters worse, with clogging of the drains, and the BMC's annual exercise of desilting the drains has only drained the city's budget, according to the experts. Pumping rainwater into the sea is no solution, as the sea level itself keeps rising. As it is, the Mithi river, which was diverted at 4 different points to build the Santa Cruz airport in the 70s, and the river's mouth, which was restricted at the Mahim Bay to build the sea link, is now becoming a menace. Builders have been allowed to encroach on wetlands, creeks, coastline, and the mudflats to invite disaster. The BMC claims its 6 pumping stations can pump out 14,000 million liters of rainwater into the sea. This is more, it says, than the combined capacity of Tulsi and Bihar lakes. Some hydrologists are asking why not store the water in underground storage tanks as is done in Japan. Others have suggested diverting the water into artificial wetlands, as just 14 acres or 1%, for example, of the BKC area can absorb 400 million liters of rainwater. After the worst floods of 2005, in which more than 5,000 people perished, an expert panel was convened under the National Disaster Management Agency (NDMA). It called for treating urban flooding as a disaster and advocated water catchment areas to be built as a remedy. But forget new ones, even the old Mithi River and its catchment area, which, as we have said, was diverted by 90 degrees to build the Santa Cruz airport and to accommodate the sea link, has been now encroached by builders, industries, and scrapyards, which have disrupted the drainage system completely. In addition, factories have discharged untreated sewage, wastewater, and industrial effluents, further damaging the river's ecosystem. The BMC would do well to look at Holland, which is 60% under sea level, for inspiration in fighting its perennial floods. Starting with the ancient network of dikes and windmills, the Dutch have built massive flood control system from 1950 to 1990, known as its Delta Works, which consists of 9 dams and 4 storm barriers, which worked very well until the catastrophic floods of the mid 1990s, which made them think again, which displaced more than 2 lakh people. After that, the Dutch adopted a more practical and pragmatic approach of accommodating flood water into reservoirs, floodplains, and sand peninsulas, instead of trying to keep it at bay. It may be profitable for the BMC to look at more manageable solutions rather than trying to put the rainwater back into the sea, with global warming now becoming a factor at the increasing congestion, traffic, and carbon emissions driving temperature up and the sea level rising by 8 centimeters in the last 20 years alone, and predicted to rise by 2.5 meters by the end of the century, it is not going to be a viable solution. Wake up, India. Instead of fighting nature, let's learn to harness it, to live in harmony with the good earth God has given us.
दूर है किनारा दूर है किनारा गहरी नदी की धारा टूटी तेरी नैया माझी खेते जाओ रे ये नैया खेते जाओ रे दूर है किनारा हो आधी कभी तूफान कभी कभी मझधार ओ माझी रे माझी रे